I'm only answering questions to larger public who don't do any practice. Those who are practicing every day intensely, am I taking any of their questions or answering any questions? No, I don't. Because the idea of doing sadhana is all the questions will burn, not that you'll find answers. If your questions are gone, what do answers mean? People who don't do anything about their internal well-being, but think by asking a question and hearing an answer, their life is going to be settled, we are still entertaining them, okay? Some point I will stop the entertainment, totally. Right now, it's still on. At some point, it'll be only available to those who are intensely doing their sadhana. For the rest, they must listen to the YouTube. Because, old cinema is always entertaining. Because you need to understand this. Questions are coming from a place which can never know. That place from which you're asking questions is not capable of knowing anything. It wants a conclusion. I am not the sort to give you a conclusion, I am a process. If you are willing to be a process of growth, I am there for you. You want a conclusion, I will frustrate you. Because what is the point of a conclusion? This is an ongoing process. And the process becomes so beautiful and heady that you don't care where is the conclusion. Then you don't have any questions. So if I do all my sadhana, you're talking about it like it's some torturous process that if I do all this, will all my questions get answered? See, this happened. Shankaran Pillai, it's not fair, it's not always funny, sometimes it's serious. Shankaran Pillai filed for divorce. In the divorce, whatever the form that they filed in the court, he said that I want separation because of illness and exhaustion. The judge looked at this and asked, what is this illness and exhaustion? So Shankaran Pillai said, that's my lawyer's job, I only said I'm sick and tired of her. So questions can be answered in many ways. So, as a beginner, if you have questions, because that is how yearning begins, in the form of questions, it's okay. We are not against questions, but I want you to know the place from which all these questions are manufactured, that place is incapable of knowing. It's like this, you know, do you do this? Don't do that. No, you must do it somewhere in your bathroom, at least you must do that. You should not do it everywhere. So you do this vibe to clean your nostrils. So after some time if you ask, can my finger breathe? It can clean up the passage, but it cannot breathe. So don't ever believe your intellect will know, it will not know. It asks questions because It's like that right now. It's okay. Nothing wrong with it. So I'm not prejudiced against women. You know that or no? Yes. If you know that only I will speak, otherwise I'll… Yes. In this process, in the very beginning we were talking about how even a fetus anchors you in such a way that you are helplessly… It's not a choice anymore. So in that process, a woman is lot more anchored to her physicality than a man. Because without that, probably our mothers would have thrown us out of the window. Only because of that anchor, that no matter what we did, it carried on. You were quite terrible, huh? But still she did all that because she was also helpless, connected, beyond conscious wish, connected. So, that is fine, that is the structure of life. But you shouldn't get into that pattern, you must know when to work yourself out of that, particularly women. Because you can go on endlessly with the same concerns to the last breath. This unfortunately is true with a large segment of women. Not that men are all enlightened something, I'm just saying there is a little biological factor which makes you like that, always little concerned about your body, always little concerned about your physiological framework. So you have to be little more on sadhana than men. Because biology takes little more tearing to release you. It won't release you so easily, it has a grip on you in a certain way. This is natural process, it's not your mistake. It's a natural process to see that the race perpetuates, the species perpetuates. I must tell you this because on this day it's important. When in 1996, November, December, that time, the time that Viji had fixed for herself is coming close. I'm trying to play the woman's role and tell her, you still have a child, 7-year-old, I'm okay, but the girl, she's only 7. Not yet 7 at that time, few months short of 7. You can postpone it. I will support you, some other time you can do it, not now, the girl is only 7. Then she said, it's way beyond her normal wisdom. She said, see, as a mother, everything that I can do, I have done for her as a little girl, as a child. But what I see is, now she's only 7, but I see the way she is, her intelligence, her way she's moving around with you. I know there is nothing more I can add. I have given her love, I have given her comfort, I absolutely love her, but I see that I don't think I can contribute anything more to her. Only thing I will do is trying to entangle her with me. I just bowed down to her. I said, this is too much wisdom. This is too much for a woman with a 7-year-old girl to say. Then I said, I have no argument for this. Well, I'm just saying, there have been many great women, probably in these parts of the world, that kind of thing was not encouraged, or if they were there, they never came to light. I'm sure they were there, but they never came to light because they were suppressed or they were obscure. But in the East, there are many thousands of women in the past who rose as great sages and saints, different in their way of operation, but they rose, nobody could stop them because the culture allowed it, the society allowed it. I think today all societies in the world largely except unfortunately a few, which you are not a part of anyway, this is the time. This is the time for the woman to rise in such a way, because it's unfortunate that we have put them in competition with men. I can also grow muscles. Arey, this is not the area in which you should compete. Men will say, wow, muscles, they look at you up and down. Behind your back, this because they know what muscle is, please understand this. Doesn't matter how much muscle you build, they will be laughing behind you. That is not the way to compete. Physical bodies are different, what's wrong with that? What is wrong in male and female bodies being different? That's the way it should be. But this is why spirituality is important, because in this domain, there is no male-female. When we say body, there is female and male. When we say spirit, there is no male-female. This is where you must compete. This is where you must rise. This is where you must reach your fullness, so that in today's world, you cannot be obscure, you will be visible. If wisdom arises within you, you will be visible, nobody can stop you anymore. Those days are gone. So you are in that privileged generation of women. Probably I would say this is the very first generation where there is such a privilege that if you rise in your consciousness, you will immediately be recognized, which was not so for thousands of years, not been so. This is the first time it's so. Make the best out of it. Thank you very much.
As we come to the end of this video, let's take a moment to reflect on the idea of exploring life's deeper questions. Each one of us has wondered about the mysteries of life, the purpose of our existence, and what it truly means to live fully. These are not small questions, and the journey to discover their answers is as unique as each of us. Sadhana or spiritual practices offers a way to turn inward and quiet the noise of the world. It is not about seeking answers outside, but creating a space within ourselves where clarity can rise. Whether it's through meditation, kriyas, or any practice that resonates with you, the process is deeply personal and transformative. So take a deep breath and remind yourself that this journey doesn't demand perfection or rushing to find solutions. It's about learning, experiencing, and being present with yourself. Each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to understanding the vastness of life and the peace that lies within. So, this is not a summary of Sadhguru's word, it is simply my interpretation of the deep wisdom he imparted. Kindly keep them separated and do not misunderstand. Thank you for joining, and we will see you tomorrow. Until then, please take care. Namaskar.